On 1st September 1950, around midday, our plane landed in Paris. We had lunch there and had a look round the city. In the evening, we got into the boat mail, as it was called, a train that goes up to Calais and then is taken on a boat and taken to Dover in England. When it reached the English Channel, I was fast asleep. I wondered because I did not sleep well during the previous night when I was on the plane. I wanted to get out and have a look at the English Channel, but I was so sleepy that I could not bring myself to get up and look at the channel. In the morning, by about 9 o'clock, we reached London and were taken to what was called a residence. And there we stayed for 2 weeks, undergoing an orientation course on life in England. During the course, I got the time to visit Canon Holland, who had been at Alva during the early years of the college. He was very glad to see a person connected with Alva, and that was a last chance because a few months later the canon passed away. After the orientation program, during which we visited some interesting places in and around London, I went to Oxford on the 24th of September. The college was actually opening only in the first week of October, but the master, Canon Howard, had written to me that I could go to the college on the 24th, as the mess would be open for a conference beginning from the 24th. I ate with the members of the conference, and on the 8th or 9th of October, students started coming for what was called the Michaelmas term there. The Oxford program, or the Oxford year, consists of 3 terms: Michaelmas, Hilary, and Trinity term. They are 8 weeks each, so that the Oxford year, strictly in a way, is only of 24 weeks duration. But I used to stay a few days long in the vacations in the college. Now, what I had chosen was research in English literature, and I was to work on Wordsworth, the Romantic poet. There was a provision at Oxford that in the English faculty one can do research only after passing an examination called the B.Lit qualifying examination. This examination is of this course, the course permitting one to do research in English. That course was of 2 months, 2 terms duration. And at the end of the 2 terms, there was an examination of 2 papers, followed by a viva. So I joined that in the English faculty. The rule was that no one would be allowed to register for a doctorate without passing and taking the B.Lit degree, taking a B.Lit degree first. After the qualifying examination, there was after the B.Lit qualifying course, there was the examination. I did well in the examination and was congratulated by the chairman of the board, Professor Wilson. But by that time, I felt that if I did the B.Lit, I asked whether I could be transferred to a D.Phil if my work was good. But my supervisor said that that could not be done. I would have to pass. I take the B.Lit degree first and then register for a D.Phil. That would have meant at least 4 years and possibly 5 years to take a doctorate. So, although I did well, I was doing well in the qualifying course, I felt that it was too trying to go on, and I had a scholarship only for 2 years. And after the 2 years, I would have to come away with a B.Lit. Then, so about halfway through the qualifying course, I decided to make a change. Then there was a new course there in philosophy and psychology, in what was called the school of the PPP school, that is philosophy, psychology, physiology. So about halfway through the qualifying course, I had decided to change over to an MA in philosophy and psychology. So after the 2 terms and passing the qualifying examination, and being congratulated on my performance in the qualifying examination by the chairman, I decided to change over to an MA in philosophy and psychology. That was at a newly started department called and at the Institute of Experimental Psychology. So this altogether, the first 2 years were gone on the qualifying examination, and then the course in psychology and philosophy was starting only in the October of the following year. So at that time, I used for reading the books recommended by the department, the Institute of Experimental Psychology. That it went on like that. I completed the course, 3 years were over, and I got a second class MA in philosophy and psychology.